What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Busted channel. Shout out to everybody tuning in right now. Let's talk about Claressa Shields, because things are getting real hectic around her lately. She's been having a rough past week, and a lot of it is tied to Curtis. Yeah, 50 Cent himself.
Nah. Damn, now I'm thinking I'm done with this shit, right? But check it out. She wanna sit here and show receipts. I'm finna show receipts. Claressa, you know the truth. You know I'm finna expose the truth. And you know they gonna swipe left and see what time it is. Claressa, you were fucking with me the long way. The only reason that you went old boy way is because a nigga poly. Everybody who know me know I'm poly. They know I got 2-3 girlfriends. And you said, Bud, I don't want to be a part of that. And I said, man, you tripping. But you know I'm poly and I'm finna.
Now here's where it gets interesting. 50 Cent and Papoose are already going back and forth. It's clear there's tension between them. And somehow, Claressa got pulled straight into that situation. 50 even claimed that she took shots at him before when things got heated with Papoose. But at the time, he let it slide and didn't respond. But now, that energy has completely changed. At this point, things have escalated, and Claressa is now being exposed for allegedly dealing with a side guy. The name floating around is Maserati Bud, and what makes it even more wild is that he's reportedly someone connected to 50 Cent. That's where people start raising eyebrows and asking questions.
Show the receipts that you were poly. You got mad because I went on vacation, I was with my girls, we were vibing, you know what I'm saying? I kept it player, yeah, I'm hurt. Man, come on, how am I gonna be hurt? I got 3 motherfucking women in my house.
Now listen, I've got a theory about all of this, and I want to hear what you think. Drop your opinion in the comments and make sure you hit that like button to boost the video. Because when you look at someone like Claressa Shields, who's around 30, it really makes you wonder, what truly separates male and female professional athletes today, besides just gender? Something about this situation feels deeper than it looks. So think about it like this. One is male, one is female. But outside of gender, what's really the difference between athletes today? Not much at all, if you ask me. That's just my take on it. A lot of these athletes move the same way, just in different lanes.
Come on, man. You really seriously think that? Man, nigga, 2 player for that. I keep telling you playing with me, man. Stop playing with me. You gonna make me keep showing shit that I really don't want to show this shit. I'm trying to spare you. But they gonna swipe left and see how you went off on me because I was with my girls and you got mad. And you said you might as well go ahead and go with Pap because shit, he just got 1 wife. This nigga got 3 girlfriends.
You see it all the time. These guys get caught up chasing attention online, talking to different people, and sometimes getting exposed while they're in relationships or even married. And honestly, women in the same spotlight aren't that different either. The behavior lines up more than people want to admit. Now here's where it gets real interesting. Situations like this don't always come out because a lot of people stay quiet or keep things behind the scenes. If more people decided to speak up, we'd probably hear about way more situations just like this. But in this case, it took 50 Cent stepping in and putting everything out there, and that says a lot. And let's be real, Claressa has built a reputation where not everyone around her is on her side. There have been people close to her who've spoken out before, and that alone raises eyebrows. Now, I'm not saying everything being said is confirmed, but the fact that this situation even came to light the way it did is wild. To me, this just adds to the idea that male and female athletes really aren't as different as people try to make it seem. The patterns, the drama, the exposure, it's all playing out the same way.
You feel me? I'm finna show them. You got mad. Cause I was with them on Christmas, then you like, oh, how you vibe with me on Christmas, and then you went and vibe with them on Christmas.
Crazy work, man.
You know I really do this, and everybody that know me know it's no secret that I'm potty. That ain't no secret. So you ain't exposing nothing.
I bet he's at a female house right now because of that smoke detector going off, but that's just a side note.
You tripping. You really exposing yourself right now. Claressa, you fuck with a nigga, you fuck with a nigga. Come on, man, no red chairs in your crib. You know who got that. You know who did that. Don't make me, come on, don't make me do this shit. You making me take it there. And people out here they like, oh, boy, you, how she keeps on going with this shit. And I'm like, yo, you sat there and recorded me. What the fuck I supposed to do? If a person sitting there recording you, what you gonna do? Now you going live. I was focused on some whole other shit, pushing my new record. I got a new record called Mr. Get Up In There. It's coming out tomorrow. Inspired by Claressa Shields.
At the end of the day, people keep saying the same thing. A lot of these situations involve messy relationship drama, and it's not just one side. That's what keeps coming up over and over again. Now listen, this next part is something I heard being discussed, so take it as conversation, not a confirmed fact. They were talking about that James Pierce situation, right? He's been linked to WNBA player Ryan Howard, and the word going around is that he reacted the way he did because he believed something wasn't right in that relationship. People pointed out how he was out in California for the Super Bowl, then suddenly left and went all the way to Florida to confront her. That kind of move had people asking serious questions. Now let's be clear, nobody is defending any reckless behavior at all, but people are trying to figure out what could push someone to react like that in the first place. Usually when things escalate like that, folks assume there was some kind of betrayal involved. That's what people are speculating at least. Then you've got another angle being thrown into the mix with some claiming money issues played a role. And that's where it starts sounding a little off to some people. Because he's a first-round NFL pick, so the idea of money problems raises eyebrows. Still, that's a whole separate conversation, and it just adds more layers to an already confusing situation. Now, the reason I even brought that situation up is to connect it back to what's going on with Claressa Shields and Maserati Bud, because this is where things start looking real bold. We're talking about someone actually putting out receipts, showing proof of being around her. There's even a clip floating around where she's doing an interview and he's right there in the background. That alone got people talking heavy.
Here we go. This goofy. I'm gonna take it back to where this shit started at. Boom. Alright. I'm gonna have to put my camera for this one, because what? Is this boy dumb? Okay, Maserati. Take me off your page. You got this video, whatever these pictures was, take them down. He took them down. It messed up my page. Everything is lined up by threes. Okay. It's not that serious. You have your videos on my page and don't nobody film me and you together. All I ever did was show he begging to not get these pictures taken down. Excuse me, bud. I'm going to report it if you don't take it down. Make you 2 other posts and replace them. Take me off your page. You're gonna mess my page up. Whatever that fuck that means. Now he, you never said you had a boyfriend and you know it. I took it down. You know, I 100% told you I had someone. You didn't. You already, Claressa got turned into the bad guy.
And from what people have been saying, this isn't the first time her name has been tied to messy situations involving people already in relationships. That's been part of the conversation around her for a while now. Again, these are claims and opinions being shared, but it's what's fueling all this attention. Now, here's the part that really stands out. A lot of people feel like this is why she doesn't get much public sympathy when situations like this pop up. It makes it easier for someone like 50 Cent to come at her directly because the backlash isn't as strong as it might be with others. That's just how the public reaction seems to be playing out. At the same time, others are saying she stepped into the situation herself, so that opened the door for all this attention to come her way. Either way, this whole situation is getting louder by the day, and there's a lot more to unpack here because this story is far from simple. So, according to Complex, Claressa Shields has responded to the accusations coming from 50 Cent, where he's claiming she was involved with someone else while dealing with Papoose. And the situation got even messier when Maserati Bud, who's said to be connected to 50, decided to jump in and speak for himself. Bud went on Instagram and started suggesting that he and Claressa had something going on, putting that claim right out in the open. Meanwhile, Claressa is strongly denying everything, making it clear she's not backing down from those accusations at all. Now, of course, people expected her to respond because no one is just going to sit back while their name is being dragged like that. But here's where things take another turn. In his video, Bud claimed that Claressa got upset with him after finding out he spent Christmas with other women, and he says that's because he lives a polyamorous lifestyle. That alone had people raising eyebrows because it adds a whole different layer to what's already being said. And he didn't stop there. He even hinted that he has more information he could put out if things keep escalating. That kind of statement only makes the situation more intense, because now it sounds like there could be even more receipts waiting to drop. At the same time, some people are looking at Bud like he's playing a role in a bigger situation, almost like he's being used to keep the drama going. Either way, this situation is getting louder, messier, and way more complicated by the minute. This whole situation right here, nobody is really winning at all. I'm not siding with anybody involved, because the way this is playing out just looks wild across the board. 50 Cent, Claressa Shields, Papoose, all of them going back and forth like this just makes the situation look more chaotic by the minute. And then you've got 50 pulling in someone like Maserati Bud, which has people questioning the whole angle. Because let's be real, it's not common to see things handled like this out in the open. That's why people are looking at Bud like he's playing a role in something bigger, whether he realizes it or not. Now, here's something else that stands out. Even people who've had issues with Claressa before haven't really come out publicly with claims like this about her current situation. They've talked about past relationships, sure, but nothing this direct. That's what makes this moment feel different from anything we've seen before. And again, I could be off on that, but it's worth thinking about. Because if people really had that kind of information before, why didn't it come out until now? That's the question a lot of folks are asking. At the same time, this whole situation has people debating relationships, loyalty, and what's really going on behind the scenes with public figures. It shows how quickly things can get exposed, flipped, and turned into a full-blown public spectacle. Or look at this angle for a second. People are pointing out that Claressa was linked to Papoose while he was still legally married. Now, whether they were separated or not, that's been a big question in the conversation, because folks say they were still closely connected at the time. Yet now there's outrage being directed at someone else's lifestyle. That's why people are calling out the inconsistency. And it doesn't stop there. There have also been claims about past relationships involving similar situations, which just adds more layers to how people are viewing this whole thing. So when reactions like this pop up, it makes people look twice and start connecting dots. Then you've got Bud, and people noticed how he chose his words carefully. He referred to women respectfully, and that stood out to some viewers watching all this unfold. It gave the impression that he's very aware of how he wants to present himself in the middle of all this chaos. At the same time, this situation is sparking a bigger conversation about dating choices, expectations, and how people handle complicated relationships. You've got individuals trying to set boundaries, others rejecting them, and then everything spills into the public eye. That's when things really start to spiral and turn into something much bigger than expected. Now think about this for a second. Somebody saying they want a monogamous relationship, but not really understanding the situation they're stepping into. That's where things start to fall apart real quick. You can't ignore the reality of who you're dealing with and then act surprised later. That's why people are looking at this whole situation like it's just messy all around. And then you've got little details and side comments floating around that just add even more noise to the situation, making everything feel even more chaotic. But let's get to the bigger picture here. A lot of people believe Bud is using this moment to get attention and push his own name out there. Because timing like this, it doesn't just happen by accident. When things are trending, some people see it as the perfect chance to step into the spotlight. And the reality is, people are saying there are plenty of situations like this out there, where someone is dealing with a person who won't publicly claim them, and once that becomes clear, they start looking for someone else who will give them that commitment. That's when the dynamic shifts completely. And honestly, it wouldn't shock people if Bud has been around her for a long time, even during past situations. That's the kind of detail that makes people look at everything differently and start questioning how deep this situation really goes. People are really looking at this situation like it's messy and full of tension. Now, here's where things take another turn. Claressa Shields went on Instagram Live that same day to shut everything down and push back against what Bud was saying. She made it clear, according to her, there was nothing going on between them like that. She claimed that Bud was actually upset because she chose to be with Papoose instead of him, and she stood firm on that, repeating that nothing physical ever happened between them. At one point, she even said no means no. What else do you have to say? And doubled down hard on her stance. She also added that he never got that close to her, making it clear where she stands. Now on top of that, she brought receipts of her own. She reposted some of the same content Bud tried to use, but added her own explanation to it. According to her, some of those pictures were things she actually wanted taken down, but he refused to keep because it didn't fit the look of his page. That's when she started calling him out, even labeling his behavior as strange for recording moments when they were just hanging out as friends. And all of this is happening while the situation with 50 Cent and Papoose is still active. 50 even added more fuel to the situation by posting a viral edited image involving both Papoose and Claressa, which only got more people talking. And trust, this doesn't stop here. There's even more content, including posts and reactions from 50 Cent himself, that take this situation to another level. Now, things really start heating up with what's being said online. There were posts going around claiming Maserati Bud was all over Claressa on Christmas. Where were you at? And more shots being thrown like Bud mad, now I'm about to drop everything. That kind of talk had people glued to the drama, watching it unfold in real time. Then Claressa stepped in and directly addressed 50 Cent, making it clear she wasn't letting those claims slide. She claimed that this whole situation supposedly kicked off around New Year's, when 50 allegedly started taking shots at her and Papoose out of nowhere. That's what she says sparked everything that followed. She also pointed out that instead of keeping things on a music level or handling it in a traditional back and forth, 50 chose to push a narrative about her personal life. According to her, the claims about her being involved with someone else are completely false, and she made it clear there was no romantic or physical connection at all. And she didn't stop there. She brought up the size of 50's platform, mentioning his massive following, and suggested that legal action is now on the table because of how widely this story is spread. That adds a whole new level of seriousness to everything. On top of that, she even called out blogs and media pages that picked up and ran with the story. According to her, all of those posts, captions, and statements can now be used as evidence moving forward. So now this situation isn't just online drama anymore. It's starting to look like something that could carry real consequences. So now you've got even more strong opinions being thrown into the mix. Some people are saying facts are facts and questioning why all of this is even happening in the first place. Others are even framing it like this is unnecessary targeting, especially with the timing of everything going on right now. But here's where the questions really start stacking up. If everything between Claressa and Maserati Bud was just friendly, then why the urgency to have those pictures taken down? That's what a lot of people are focusing on, because if it's innocent, what's the issue with leaving the posts up? That's where the speculation gets louder. Some are saying that reaction alone makes it look like there's more to the story. Now, to be fair, nothing has been fully proven either way, but people are connecting dots based on how everything is unfolding. And then you've got the argument about 50 Cent's involvement. Some believe he wouldn't attach his name to something unless he felt confident about it, while others think he's just keeping the drama alive for attention. Either way, his presence is making the situation way bigger than it might have been otherwise. At the end of the day, the biggest question people keep coming back to is simple. If it was just a friendship, then why does it look like there's so much pressure to control what's being seen? That's the part that keeps this whole situation under the spotlight. To a lot of people watching this, those pictures feel like confirmation, or at least that something deeper was going on. That's why the reaction to them raised so many eyebrows. Now, she can continue to deny everything, and that's her position, but it doesn't look like Maserati Bud or 50 Cent are backing off anytime soon. This situation might keep escalating, and more could come out as things keep unfolding. At this point, it's all playing out in public, and everybody's picking a side or asking more questions. So now, I want to hear from you. What do you think is really going on here? Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this with others, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Stay locked in, and I'll catch you in the next one.